She had always been the woman who could light up a room with her smile, the one who stood beside her husband through every twist and turn of life, whether the cameras were flashing or the world was quiet and still. But now something in her eyes had changed. Something deep and unspoken that hinted at a pain too heavy to put into words. And if you looked closely, you could see how she carried it with her everywhere she went, hidden behind a gentle nod or a quiet laugh, as if she was trying to protect him and herself from the truth they could no longer avoid. And it was this quiet strength, this unshakable devotion, that made their love story so beautiful and so heartbreaking all at once. Because for decades, she had been more than just Kurt Russell's wife. She had been his partner in every sense, his confidant, his anchor, his biggest supporter, and together they had built a life that so many admired, one filled with memories of red carpets, family dinners, movie sets, and quiet walks far away from the spotlight. But now that life felt as though it was slipping through her fingers, and she found herself holding on to every little moment, memorizing the sound of his voice, the way he still made her laugh, the look in his eyes when they sat together in silence. And yet under all of this, there was a question she couldn't stop asking herself, a question that kept her awake at night even when she was exhausted. How do you prepare to say goodbye to someone who has been your whole world? And what happens to the pieces of you that only exist because of them? Because as much as she wanted to be strong, there was a part of her that was scared. Scared not just of what his diagnosis meant for him, but of what it meant for her, for the future they had imagined, for the dreams they still kept tucked away. And while she smiled for him and tried to keep things normal, her heart was quietly breaking in places no one else could see. And it was this hidden battle, this silent ache beneath the surface, that told the real story. A story of love tested by the cruel weight of time, of a woman determined to stand tall for the man she loved, even when the ground beneath her feet felt like it could give way at any moment. And somewhere deep inside, she knew that no matter how much it hurt, she would walk this path with him until the very end. Because that was what their love had always been about. Not just the joy and the beauty, but the promise to never let go, even when the world was telling you that goodbye was coming. She wakes up each morning with a weight on her chest, a silent fear that this day might be the one where everything changes forever. And even though she tries to hold on to hope, there is a quiet knowing inside her that the time to say goodbye is drawing closer. A goodbye that no one is ready for, but that she can't avoid. And every small moment now feels sharper, like a fragile glass that could shatter at any second, leaving her world in pieces. She is preparing in ways that no one else can see, making decisions that seem too hard to make, choosing memories over plans, and learning to live with a new kind of silence that fills the space where laughter once echoed. The house feels different now, softer somehow, filled with an unspoken sadness that lingers like a shadow, and as she moves through her days, she carries the secret of what lies ahead with a brave face, trying not to let the tears fall in front of those who love her. But in the quiet moments when she is alone, the tears come anyway, because she knows that saying goodbye is not just about leaving. It is about letting go of the future she dreamed of, the life she imagined sharing with Kurt, and the hope that sometimes felt so real it could be touched. Yet despite all the pain, she is still here, still fighting, still loving, and still holding on to every second she has left, learning to say things she never thought she would have to say, like how much she cherishes him, how proud she is of their years together, and how much she will miss the smallest things, the everyday moments that make a life, the soft touch of his hand, the sound of his voice calling her name, the way he smiled when he saw her. All of these things now feel precious, like treasures she must keep safe inside her heart, and the world outside moves on without pause. But inside their home, time seems to stretch and bend, each day feeling both too long and too short, and she wonders how she can prepare for the hardest goodbye of all, how she can find the strength to say farewell, without losing herself in the process. But in the midst of all this, there is also a quiet courage growing inside her, a hope that even when the days get dark, love will find a way to shine through, and that memories will become the light that guides her through the sadness. She is a woman learning to live with the unbearable truth that her husband, her partner, her best friend is slipping away, but she is also a woman who refuses to give up, who chooses to face the pain head-on, and who is teaching us all what it means to love fiercely, even when the end is near. And so she keeps going, step by step, breath by breath, holding on to the love that has defined her life, and finding strength in the promise that even in goodbye, love never really ends. The news came like a sudden storm, unexpected and full of fear, shaking the foundation of everything they thought they knew. Because when Kurt Russell received the diagnosis, it was not just a medical report, it was a sentence that changed the course of their lives forever. And no one could have prepared her for the moment she heard the words. The way her heart sank and her mind raced, trying to make sense of what was happening to the man who had always seemed so strong, so full of life and energy, now facing a battle that was bigger than any role he had ever played or any challenge he had ever faced. And the mystery of what this diagnosis meant hung over them like a dark cloud, leaving questions unanswered and hope fragile. She watched as Kurt, the man who had spent years captivating audiences with his charm and talent, now struggled with uncertainty, his smile sometimes hiding the pain and fear he felt inside. And every day brought a new challenge, a new symptom, a new reason to worry. But what made it even harder was the way the diagnosis rippled through their world, touching family, friends, and fans who all wanted to believe in a miracle, yet could see the harsh reality in the quiet moments when the cameras were off and the masks were down, and she found herself caught between holding on to hope and preparing for what seemed inevitable, trying to keep the balance between being strong for Kurt and letting herself feel the weight of the situation. Because this was more than just illness. It was a test of love, faith, and resilience, one that no script could prepare them for, and no one could predict how it would end. And there was a deep curiosity about what the future held, what treatments they would try, what moments they would still get to share, and how the man she loved so deeply would face this battle, knowing that every day was a gift, but also a reminder of the time slipping away. And through all of this, her life changed, shifting from the bright lights of Hollywood to the quiet rooms of hospitals, from the thrill of premieres to the solemn reality of medical appointments, and she learned new roles, not as an actress or a celebrity, but as a caregiver, a fighter, and a woman holding on to love in the face of tragedy. And though the diagnosis brought fear, it also brought a strange kind of clarity, reminding her what mattered most and what could never be taken away. The memories they shared, the bond they built, and the hope that even in the darkest times, love could shine the brightest. And so she stands by Kurt, not just as his wife, but as his partner in a fight they never wanted to face, facing each day with courage, patience, and an unbreakable spirit that shows the true meaning of devotion when life takes an unexpected and heartbreaking turn. Her life used to be full of bright lights, laughter, and the excitement of sharing moments with the man she loves so much. But now, those days feel far away, replaced by quiet rooms and the steady beeping of machines, and the world she once knew has shifted into something unfamiliar and heavy, where every step she takes is filled with a mix of hope and fear, because behind closed doors, the reality of Kurt's diagnosis is changing everything, taking away the carefree days and replacing them with careful plans, whispered prayers, and long nights filled with worry. And she finds herself living between two worlds, the glamorous life they once enjoyed with movie premieres and smiling faces, and the hard, painful world of hospitals, medicines, and treatments that bring a daily reminder of what they are facing. And it is in these moments, away from the cameras and the flashing lights, that the true weight of their situation becomes clear, as she watches him fight silently against an illness that no script can fix. And in the stillness, she feels a deep sadness for the life that is slipping away, but also a fierce determination to hold on to every piece of joy they can find, no matter how small, like a soft touch, a shared smile, or a quiet conversation late at night, because these are the moments that now matter most, the moments that remind her that even in pain, love remains. But this new life is not easy, and she has had to learn how to navigate the unknown, balancing hope with reality, strength with vulnerability, and love with the fear of loss. And through it all, she has grown in ways she never expected, discovering a resilience inside her that keeps her going when the days feel too dark, and she has become a quiet hero in their story, the one who holds the family together when everything feels like it might fall apart, and yet, beneath this strength is a heart that aches, a woman who misses the life they had, who wishes for more time, more laughter, more moments without pain, and she wonders what the future will hold, if the love they built can withstand this storm, and if there will still be light after the darkness. But even with all this uncertainty, she continues to stand by him, facing each day with courage and grace, because she knows that love is not just about the good times, but about standing together through the hardest battles, and so she holds on tightly, cherishing the time they have left, and hoping against hope that their story will not end too soon, showing us all how life can change in an instant, but love, true love, can remain even when the world feels like it is breaking apart. Every day she feels the weight of what is coming, the hard truth that she must say goodbye to the man who has been her heart and soul for so many years. And this is a goodbye unlike any other, filled with quiet sadness, deep love, and the ache of knowing that time is slipping away too fast. And even though they have faced many challenges together, this one feels different. It feels like the final chapter of their story is writing itself before her eyes, and she wonders how to hold on to the love that has defined her life while also preparing to let go, a paradox that breaks her heart in ways words cannot fully express. And as she watches Kurt, the man who once seemed so invincible, she sees not just the illness, but the moments that still sparkle with life, the laughter that escapes in quiet corners, the gentle hands reaching out for hers, and the shared memories that no disease can erase. And it is these moments that she clings to, like precious jewels in a world that feels uncertain and fragile. But there is also a deep, restless curiosity about what comes next, what the future holds after the final goodbye, and how she will carry the pieces of their life together inside her, a life that was filled with dreams, adventures, and an unbreakable bond. And even though the thought of facing the days without him fills her with fear and loneliness, she knows that love has already given her the strength to carry on, to live with the memories, and to honor the man she loved with every breath. And this goodbye is not just an end, but a testament to everything they shared. A final act of love that shows the world how deeply two hearts can be connected. Even when the body is failing, and in the silence that follows, she will learn to listen to the echo of their love, the stories they told, and the dreams they dreamed together. Because love does not end with goodbye. It changes, it grows, and it becomes a light that guides her forward, a light that will never fade, no matter how dark the days may seem. And so she says goodbye, not with anger or regret, but with gratitude, with hope, and with the knowledge that what they had was something rare and beautiful, a love that will live forever in her heart. And this is her journey now, to carry that love with grace, to find peace in the memories, and to live a life that honors the man who taught her how to love fiercely, deeply, and without limits, even when saying goodbye feels like the hardest thing she will ever do.